भगवतेरुत्तमा श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Canto Chapter 5 verse 6. 6 हो गया yesterday?
I'll check, sir. I didn't check the recording yet.
Oh yes, हो गया कल. Narad Muni was speaking to Brahmaji that whatever is created is from you. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto to Chapter 5 verse 7. Sabhavana charat gorham
Sabhavanacharath ghoram
yattapassu samahita
yattapasu samahita.
tena khedayasena
Tena kedayasenastvam
parashankham chayachasi
parashankam chayachasi.
sabhavan acharat goram
Sabhavanacharath ghoram
yattapassu samahita
yattapasu samahita.
tena khedayasena
Tena kedayasenastvam
parashankham chayachasi
parashankam chayachasi.
sabhavan acharat goram
Sabhavanacharath ghoram
yattapassu samahita
yattapasu samahita.
tena khedayasena
Tena kedayasenastvam
parashankham chayachasi. Sorry.
parashankam chayachasi. Sabhavanacharath ghoram
Sabhavan acharat goram
yattapasu samahita.
yattapassu samahita
Tena kedayasenastvam
tena khedayasena
parashankam chayachasi.
parashankham chayachasi. So. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, synonyms: sa, he,
Sahi
Bhavan, your good self,
Bhavan, your good self.
Acharat, undertook,
Acharat, undertook.
Ghoram, severe,
Ghoram, severe.
Yat tapa, meditation,
Yat tapa, meditation.
Susamahita, in perfect discipline,
Susamahita, in perfect discipline.
Tena, for that reason,
Tena, for that reason.
Kedayase, gives pain,
Khedayase gives pain.
Na ourselves.
Na ourselves.
Tvam, your good self.
Tvam, your good self.
Para, the ultimate truth.
Para, the ultimate truth.
Shankham, doubts.
Shankam, doubts.
Cha and
Cha and
Yachasi, giving us a chance.
Yachasi, giving us a chance.
Translation, please repeat after me. Yet we are moved to wonder
Yet we are moved to wonder
about the existence of someone more powerful than you
about the existence of someone more powerful than you.
when we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline.
When we think of your great austerities in perfect discipline,
Although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation,
although your good self is so powerful in the matter of creation,
purport.
purport. Following in the footsteps of Sri Narad Muni, one should not blindly accept his spiritual master as God himself. A spiritual master is duly respected on a par with God, but a spiritual master claiming to be God himself should at once be rejected. Narada Muni accepted Brahma as the supreme due to Lord Brahma's wonderful acts in creation, but doubts arose in him when he saw that Lord Brahma also worshipped some superior authority. The supreme is supreme, and he has no worshipable superior. The Ahangrahopasita, or the one who worships himself with the idea of becoming God himself, is misleading. But the intelligent disciple can at once detect that the supreme God does not need to worship anyone, including himself, in order to become God. Ahangrahopasana may be one of the processes for transcendental realization, but the Ahangrahopasita can never be God himself. No one becomes God by undergoing a process of transcendental realization. Narada Muni thought of Brahmaji as the supreme person, but when he saw Brahmaji engaged in the process of transcendental realization, doubts arose in him. So he wanted to be clearly informed.
Hari Om Tat Sadamagyanatimirandasi Gyananyan Shalakya Chakshurunmeritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swamin Yeti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitaya Kripa Pradhayine O Gaurakatha Damadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavade पाश्चात्य सतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Haraya Nama Krishna Yadvaya Nama Gopala Govinda Ram Srimad Nam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulam Gaite Girim Tripata Muhammad Sri Gurum Dede Tharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishram Hari Om Tat Sat. So there's a very beautiful words by Sri Narad Muni that he is saying that everything is coming from you. That is our witnessing. We are witnessing that, but still you are also meditating on somebody. What is this and who is that person? So God means he is also a living entity, as you are, as I am, as we are. Okay, we are sitting, I'm speaking, we are in Zoom. Similarly, God is also a person like you, like me, but he's very, 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 very supremely powerful. Nityo Nityanam, Chetana Chetananam. So in the material world, we have experienced that you are more powerful than me, and another person is more powerful than him, and you, and then another powerful than him. So in this way, you go on searching, you go on searching. When you find the supreme powerful, that is God. Supreme powerful. So our relative position with which it is finding the Lord is with our imperfect senses. It's not very easy actually. Tribhir gunamayir bhavai. Those who are too much infected by these material qualities, they cannot understand Krishna. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavrita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, they think that Krishna and we are the same. But that's not the fact. Avajananti mamuda manushintanamashritam. Because Krishna comes as human being, we may think that Krishna is as good as I am. No, that should not be. Krishna is Vibhu and we are Anu. Krishna is master, we are servant. That is our eternal relationship. We should not forget that. Sa eva prakritim sukshmam daivim gunamayim vibhu prakriti. This prakriti is also Krishna's. Krishna being the supremely powerful, he can utilize his power, prakriti, as he likes. He is not controlled by prakriti, but we are controlled by prakriti because he is Vibhu. Vibhu means the great. So you cannot say great, Prakriti is greater than Krishna. You can't say that. If you say that, that means your God is not great. If something is greater than God, then you cannot say God is great. So you have to accept this. There is no more greater identity than Krishna. Then you can say Krishna is great. Krishna cannot be entrapped. Nunam mahatan tatra. If you are smaller, then you can overpowered by the greater. If your strength is lesser than another, say man, or say two wrestler, if one wrestler is more powerful, then he can always defeat the other wrestler. So therefore, Vibhu, Krishna is Vibhu. He is not covered by Maya. The Mayavada philosopher may think that he is covered. When God comes within this material world, he is also covered by Maya. No, he is not covered by Maya. If Maya is greater than Krishna, then Maya can cover Krishna. But that's not the fact. Krishna says, Mama Maya, Mam evaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. If one surrenders to Krishna, then he becomes free from the clutches of Maya. So how Krishna can be caught by Maya? So this is contradictory. So we have to understand. So Narad Muni, he is seeing that Brahma is also taking severe austerity. He is worshipping, somebody else. Who is that? Who is that? You may have some understanding that in the Vedic literature, there is mention of many demigods. But the demigods, they are also living entities. A little more powerful than the human beings, of course. That's all. In this world also we find somebody is more powerful than others. But that doesn't mean he is God. God is supreme. God is all powerful. Here you may be a little more powerful than me, but another may be found who is more powerful than you, and another may be found more powerful than him. In this way go on. There is no limit. So anyone, you will find somebody lower than him and higher than him. But nobody can say, I am the supreme. Nobody can say. That's not possible. It's not possible. So that is why Narad Muni is asking question. Krishna, he is not controlled by anyone. He is not doing austerity towards anyone. He is not receiving his Shakti from somebody like Brahma is receiving from Krishna. So therefore, Krishna is called Ishvara Parama Krishna. Who said this? Brahma said this. Brahma said this because Brahma, he received that from Krishna, so he knows who is Krishna, what is Krishna. He says Ishvara Parama Krishna. That is final God. That's final God. Not that you are powerful than me, he is more powerful than you, and somebody is more powerful than him, and go on, go on, go on, go on. And when you come to Krishna, nobody is more powerful than Krishna. Matta parataram nanya. So, this is also confirmed by Arjuna. Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Eternal. You see. So it's not that you have said, I see from your instruction and it is confirmed by Vyasadeva, by Devla, by Narada. That also Arjuna says. Tad Vijnanartham sa Guru Meva Abhigachet. So Narad Muni is accepting Srila Brahmaji as not only his father but also as Guru. So he is approaching the Guru very submissively and hearing is very attentively by serving the Guru, praising the Guru to whatever Narad Muni is witnessing. This is the way of receiving transcendental knowledge. Tad vijnanartham saguru eva bigachet srotriyam. One who heard from his guru, he is authorized. So Narad Muni is authorized because he is now hearing from Brahma. And then Vyasadeva is authorized because Vyasadeva heard from Narad Muni. Sukadeva is authorized because Sukadeva Goswami heard from Vyasadeva. Madhvacharya is authorized because Madhvacharya heard from Vyasadeva. In this way, disciplic succession is started here by Brahma and Narad Muni in these words and more. So let's see the next words. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, verse 8. एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम्
एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम्
सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर
सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर
विजानीहि यतैवेदम् अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासित एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम् सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर विजानीहि यतैवेदम् अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासित एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम् सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर विजानीहि यतैवेदम् अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासित Yes, please recite.
एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम् सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर विजानीहि यतैव वेदम् अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासितः
एतन्मे पृच्छतः सर्वम्
एतन्मे पृच्छतः
सर्वज्ञ सकलेश्वर
विजानीहि यतैवेदम्
अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासितः
अहं बुद्ध्येऽनुशासितः
Synonyms. Etat, all these. Me, unto me. Prichatha, inquisitive.
Inquisitive.
Sarvam, all that is inquired.
Sarvam, all that is inquired.
Sarvajna, one who knows everything.
One who knows everything.
Sakala, overall.
Sakala, overall.
Ishvara, the controller.
Ishvara, controller.
Vijani, he kindly explained.
Vijnani,
Kindly explain.
Kindly,
Yatha, as.
yatha, as.
Eva, they are.
ever, they are.
Idam, this.
Idam,
Aham, myself.
aham,
Aham, myself.
Buddhye, can understand.
buddhi, understand.
Understand.
Anusha, Sitha, just learning from you.
Anusha,
Just learning from you.
Translation, please repeat after me. My dear father,
my dear father,
you know everything,
You know everything.
and you are the controller of all.
And
and
you are the controller of all.
Therefore, may all that I have inquired from you be kindly instructed to me,
therefore we all
Therefore,
that
all the
from you be kindly instructed,
be kindly instructed to me,
so that I may be able to understand it as your student.
so
so
that I
that
may to
be able
understand.
to understand as your student.
Purport.
Purport. The inquiries made by Narad Muni are very important for everyone concerned, and as such, Narada requested Brahmaji to deem them suitable so that all others who may come in the line of disciplic succession of the Brahma Sampradaya may also know them properly without any difficulty.
Hari Om Sat Tat Sat. So this is how the parampara has been started by Narad Muni after Krishna instructed to Brahma. To further delineate these wonderful transcendental pastimes, name, fame, glories of Lord Krishna to all the fallen conditioned souls for their own benefit. So Narada Muni took so much of mercy. He has shown his mercy to one and all through these verses. He became a submissive student to Lord Brahma. So here the disciple, student means he has become the disciple of Brahma. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, verse 9. Brahma Vacha
Brahma Vacha
Samyak Karunikasyeedham
Samyakar
Samyakarunikasvedam
Vatsate Vichikitsitam
Vatsate
Vatsate vichikitsitam
Yad Aham Choditat Saumya
Yadaham
Yadaham Chodita Somya
Bhagavad Virya Darshane
Bhagavad Gita
Bhagavad
Brahma Vacha
Brahma
Brahmavata
Samyak Karunikasyeedham
Samyak
Samyakarunikasvedam
Vatsate Vichikitsitam
Vatsate vichikitsitam
Yad Aham Choditat Saumya
Yadaham
Aham
Soumya
Somya
Bhagavad Virya Darshane
Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Gita
Virya Darshane
Brahma Vacha
Brahma Vacha
Vacha
Samyak Karunikasyeedham
Samyak
Samyakarunikasvedam
Vatsate Vichikitsitam
Vachate
Vatsate vichikitsitam
Yadaham Choditas Saumya
Yadaham
Chodita
Somya
Bhagavad Virya Darshane.
Bhagavan Virya
Virya Darshane
Yes, please.
Brahma Vacha
Brahmavata
Samyak Karunikashyedam
Samyakarunikasvedam
Vatsate Vichikitsitam
Ichitam
Yad aham chodita Soumya
Yat
Satya
Bhagavat Virya Darshane
Bhagavad Vidya Darshane Brahma Uvacha
Brahma Vacha
Samyak Karunikashyedam
Samyak Karunikashyedam
Vats Vatsavte Vichikipsitam
Vatsate Chikitsitam
Yad Aham Chodita Soumya
Yat
Yad aham chodita
Choditam
Soumya
Bhagavad Virya Darshane
Bhagavat
Bhagavad Darshane.
Synonyms. Brahma Uvacha, Lord Brahma said.
Brahma
Brahma
Uvacha Lord Brahma
Lord
said,
Brahma said,
Samyak, perfectly.
Samyak,
Samyak, perfectly.
Karunikasya, of you who are very kind.
Karunika
Karunikasya, of you who are very kind.
Idam, this.
Idam
Idam,
this
Vatsa, my dear boy.
Vatsa
Vatsa,
my
my dear boy.
Te, your.
They
O
are
Lord,
Vichikitsitam, inquisitiveness.
which
which
keep
is
the
the inquisitiveness,
Yat, by which.
yet
yet
by
which
Aham, myself.
Aham
Aham
myself
Chodita, inspired.
Chodita tired
Saumya, oh, gentle one.
Soumya,
Soumya, O gentle one,
Bhagavat, of the personality of Godhead.
Bhagavad
Bhagavat, of the personality of Godhead,
Virya, prowess.
Virya
Virya, prowess,
Darshana, in the matter of.
Darshane
Darshan, matter of
Translation, please repeat after me. Lord Brahma said, my dear boy Narada,
Lord
Lord
Brahma
Brahma
said, "Why
said,
not?"
my dear boy Narada,
being merciful to all, including me,
Being
being
merciful to all,
merciful to all, including me,
you have asked all these questions because
you have
you
asked all.
have
have asked
asked
all
all
these questions because
I have been inspired to see into the prowess of the Almighty Personality of Godhead.
I have
I
been inspired to see into the prowess of the Almighty Personality of Godhead.
So this is the nature of a devotee. When somebody asks a question, no, the devotee becomes very enthusiastic and he appreciates either mentally or directly the inquirer. Purport.
Brahmaji, being so questioned by Narada ji, congratulated him, for it is usual for the devotees to become very enthusiastic whenever they are questioned concerning the Almighty Personality of Godhead. That is the sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. Such discourses on the transcendental activities of the Lord purify the atmosphere in which such discussions are held, and the devotees thus become enlivened while answering such questions. It is purifying both for the questioners and for one who answer the questions. The pure devotees are not only satisfied by knowing everything about the Lord, but are also eager to broadcast the information to others. For they want to see that the glories of the Lord are known to everyone. Thus, the devotees feel satisfied when such an opportunity is offered to him. This is the basic principle of missionary activities.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So you understand what is missionary activity. Just to propagate the name, fame, glories of Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu, the Kali Yuga avatars, and engage all the people in the Kali Yuga Dharma of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Talk of the pastimes of the Lord Krishna. This is very wonderful. The devotees are always eager to speak about the Lord. And if somebody is asking question to the devotee, especially about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotee becomes so enlivened that he goes into ecstasy, just like Parishit Maharaj when he was asking questions. Sukadeva Goswami felt very, very inspired and ecstatic loving feeling. When Uddhava was asked a question by Vidura, Uddhava went into trance almost. So when a genuine person, a devotee, is asking a question about the Lord to another genuine devotee, naturally there will be blissfulness and ecstatic symptom, and love of God, it sprouts at once, and remembrance of this particular wonderful personality of God at the Supreme. One feels the separation in love, and this is very rare. Only by the association of devotees these things are possible, because when they are in association, they ask question to each other about Krishna or Gauranga, and they discuss the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes to one another. So much so that Lord Shiva from Kailash wanted to immediately reach Mayapur to hear this wonderful narration of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes by Gaura Bhaktas. So that he has bull as his carrier. What is that called? Is Vahan, a Nandi. But Nandi, not as you think, is really very slow. All the Vahanas of the demigods are having mystic potency. They can fly also, they can run, they can appear and disappear. So many mystic potency, all the Ashtanga Siddhi they have taken. They become the Vahan of the Lord out of love. I mean, their Lord, demigod. So Nandi was carrying, but the Gaura Katha has already started here. So Lord Shiva can't wait for the Nandi to go as fast as he could. So he went straight to Brahmaji and requested Brahma, please, please, please lend me your Vahan, which is Hamsa Vahan, swan, which can cross different planetary system within the matter of a second. Because at once I have very emergency work at the earth. So please, there is no time for even discussing why I want it and all. So Narad Muni immediately gave. He respects Lord Shiva because he knows Shiva Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambho. So immediately, without asking any further question, Brahmaji handed over the swan to him and told the swan, please take him to where he wants. So in this way, the swan took so fast that Shiva has almost laid down on the back of the swan, because swan was coming upside down very fast to the earth, to Mayapur. In this way, owing to the so fast movement, the heat stoke up. And then what happened? Lord Shiva was able to reach Mayapur and listen to the Gaura Katha. But owing to such a heavy fasted travel openly on the top of the swan, his body was becoming very hot along with the swan. So this deity was called Amsa Vahan Shiva, and he was placed under the river for cooling. So once in a year, the devotee takes him out, bathe him, and then worshipping him. So this is going on even today. And you can see such a devotees, all the paraphernalias are always, available. So this is very wonderful that when a devotee is asked a question, so Lord Shiva was not able to wait because he wanted to hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and our Guru Maharaj is revealing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes every day in Zoom and Facebook. So how fortunate we are that we don't need to travel that fast, that long distance as Lord Shiva, who is the chief amongst the Vaishnavas. We are very fortunate, and our Guru Maharaj is so merciful that he is giving us from where we are. We don't need to even go to Mayapur. We can sit where we are and open the Facebook and hear the lecture of Guru Maharaj, which is live propagated almost whenever he is giving the session of Chaitanya Katha. So this is not ordinary. If Lord Shiva could fly out from there with such great speed to hear Chaitanya Katha, you must understand the worth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is even more worthy than hearing Krishna Katha. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. but his live Leela is different from the pastimes that has been wound up in the past 5,000 years ago. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, when you are hearing, you are becoming part of that particular Leela. You are inside the Leela of Lord Chaitanya. Every ISKCON devotee is inside the Leela of Lord Chaitanya. This has to be understood because it's impossible to be within the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being unlimitedly merciful, he gives these opportunities to the Jiva who is otherwise absolutely not qualified to even hear about what to speak of entering into the pastime. But you have got a place in the pastime because we have got a guru, such a wonderful spiritual master. When you will get a place in that place where the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Katha is being told. So like that, we should have the affinity to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam or Lord Chaitanya story. You will gain that affinity gradually as soon as you put your faith and you start serving a pure devotee and then hear from him. In this way, the faith becomes fixed up, and then all the limbs are enlivened by serving and hearing from a pure devotee, such as our spiritual master. So, of course, reverential devotion for the Lord also gradually increases and transforms itself into an ecstatic love over a period of a time. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 38 chapters, 38th chapter, Akrura is telling that because I'm going to see Lord Krishna today, all symptoms of inauspiciousness have already been killed. My life is now become successful because I shall be able to offer my respects unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So only by about hearing, or when we know that we are going to speak or hear about Krishna, we are going to think of Krishna, because you can't speak anything that you are not thinking. So Smaranam is coming first. Even when you're chanting Hare Krishna, you don't know that you are thinking of Krishna. Sometimes you don't even know. This is the power of Acharyas who will engage you or Smaranam. And then comes Kirtanam. After remembering, you will speak what you remember. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you are remembering Krishna, and then you are chanting Krishna, and then you are hearing Krishna. So this Smaranam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all things are happening simultaneously. This is the wonder of devotional service through the Acharya Parampara. That is why we need to hear Lord Chaitanya's pastimes from one who is worth, a pure devotee and associate of Lord Chaitanya, who not only witnessed Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, but also he was playing some role in some pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So this is very important. So please go on, read this particular narration, the wonderful narration. Because when somebody is asking question about Krishna, it is not the person who is answering the question is getting purified. The person who is asking the question is also getting purified. This is the beauty of the conversation, and this is called a missionary activity. Simply talk of Krishna, hear about Krishna, ask about Krishna. So we'll go to the next verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, verse 10. Nandrutam tava tachapi
Nandritam tava tachapi
yatha mam prabravishibo
yatha
Yatha
ma
mam
prabhavishivo
avijnaya param matta
avignāya
avidyana param
paramata
matta
yetavatvam yato hi me.
etavat
etavatam yato
yato
hime.
Nandrutam tava tachapi
Nandatam tava tachapi
yatha mam prabravishibo
yatha mam
yatha ma prabhavishivo
pravishivo
avijnaya param matta
avignāya
avidyana
paramata
etavatvam yato hi me.
etavat tvam yato hime
Nandrutam tava tachapi
Nandatam
Nandritam
tava tachapi
yatha mam prabravishibo
yatha
yatha
mam pravishivo
avijnaya param matta
avignāya
avidyana
paramata
Etavatvam yato hime.
एतावत् यतो हि मे
Now please recite.
Nanritam tava tachapi
नान्यतं तव तच्चापि
yatha mam pravishibo
यथा मां प्रभविषिवो
avignaya paramatta
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
etavatvam yato hime.
एतावत् त्वं यतो हि मे नानृतं तव तच्चापि
Nanritam tava tachapi
यथा मां प्रभविषिवो
yatha mam pravishibo
अविज्ञाय परं मत्ता
avignaya paramatta
एतावत् त्वं यतो हि मे
etavatvam yato hime.
Synonyms. Na, not.
न
Na,
not
not.
Anrutham, false.
अनृतं
Anritam
false
false.
Tava, of yours.
तव
Tava
of
of
your
yours.
Tat, that.
tat
Tat
that
that.
Cha, also.
cha
Cha
also
also.
Api, as you have stated.
api as
Api
we
as
have
you have
stated
stated.
Yatha, in the matter of.
yatha
Jatha in the matter
matter
of.
of
Mom, of myself.
mom
Mom
of
of
myself
myself.
Prabravishi, as you describe.
prabhavishi
Prabhaviti
you
as you
describe
describe.
Oh, oh, my son.
Bo,
bo
oh my son.
Avijnaya, without knowing.
avignaya
Avignaya
without
without knowledge.
Param, the supreme.
Param
para
the supreme.
supreme
Matta, beyond myself.
matta
Matta
beyond
beyond
myself
myself.
Etavat, all that you have spoken.
eta with all that you
Eta,
have
all that
spoken
you have spoken.
Tuam, yourself.
from
Swam
yourself
yourself.
Yatha, for the reason of.
yatha for the
Yatha for the
reason of
reason of.
He, certainly.
he
He
such
certainly.
Me, about me.
me
Me
about
about me.
Translation, please repeat after me. Whatever you have spoken about me is not false.
whatever you
Whatever
have
you have spoken
spoken
about
is
me is not false.
Because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me,
Because
because
unless and until one is aware of the
the
personality
person
of
of
Godhead,
God
who is
who
the
is the
ultimate truth
ultimate
beyond
God.
me,
one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities.
One is sure to be illusioned
by
by
observing my powerful activities.
Purport.
Purport. The frog in the well logic illustrates that a frog residing in the atmosphere and boundary of a well cannot imagine the length and breadth of the gigantic ocean. Such a frog, when informed of the gigantic length and breadth of the ocean, first of all does not believe that there is such an ocean. And if someone assures him that factually there is such a thing, the frog then begins to measure it by imagination by means of pumping its belly as far as possible, with the result that the tiny abdomen of the frog bursts and the poor frog dies without any experience of the actual ocean. Similarly, the mm, Similarly, the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable potency of the Lord by measuring him with their frog like brains and their scientific achievements. But at the end, they simply die unsuccessfully like the frog. Sometimes a, sometimes a materially powerful man is accepted as God or the incarnation of God without any knowledge of the factual God. Such a material assessment may be gradually extended, and the attempt may reach to the highest limit of Brahmaji, who is the topmost existence of a great personality who creates the variegatedness of the complete universe. It is understood from the revealed scriptures that the Brahmaji of this universe is younger than all other Brahmas in charge of the many, many universes beyond this, but none of them can be equal to the personality of Godhead. Narad Ji is one of the liberated souls, and after his liberation, he was known as Narada. Otherwise, before his liberation, he was simply a son of a maidservant. The questions may be asked why Narad Ji was not aware of the Supreme Lord and why he misconceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord, although factually he was not. A liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So, why did Narad Ji ask all those questions just like an ordinary man with a poor fund of knowledge? There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also, although he is eternally the associate of the Lord. Such bewilderment in Arjuna or in Narada takes place by the will of the Lord, so that other non liberated persons may realize the real truth and knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narada about Brahmaji's becoming all powerful is a lesson for the frogs in the well. What they may not be that they may not be bewildered in misconceiving the identity of the personality of Godhead, even by comparison to a personality like Brahma. So, what to speak of ordinary men who falsely pose themselves as God or an incarnation of God? The Supreme Lord is always the Supreme, and as we have tried to establish many times in these purports, no living being, even up to the standard of Brahma, can claim to be one with the Lord. One should not be misled when people worship a great man as God after his death as a matter of hero worship. There were many kings like Lord Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya, but none of them are mentioned as God in the revealed scriptures. To be a good king is not necessarily the qualification of for being Lord Rama, but to be a great personality like Krishna is the qualification for being the personality of Godhead. If we scrutinize the characters who took part in the battle of Kurukshetra, we may find that Maharaja Yudhishthir was no less a pious king than Lord Ramachandra, and by character study, Maharaja Yudhishthir was a better moralist than Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna asked Maharaja Yudhishthira to lie, but Maharaja Yudhishthira protested. But that does not mean that Maharaja Yudhishthira could be equal to Lord Ramachandra or Lord Krishna. The great authorities have estimated Maharaja Yudhishthira to be a pious man, but they have accepted Lord Rama or Krishna as the personality of Godhead. The Lord is therefore a different identity in all circumstances, and no idea of anthropomorphism can be applied to him. The Lord is always the Lord, and a common living being can never be equal to him.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Shantagopi has come. Let's hear from her.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो आचार्यपादाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
10th verse. 10th verse, 5th chapter of 2nd canto.
Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 5, Text 10. The amazing nectar has started. So, whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So, amazing conversation between Brahma and Narada. So, Narada Muni is the son of Brahma, and Narada Muni's mother, father, everything is Brahma and also Guru. And that is how Narada Muni is coming in our Acharya Parampara. So the Acharya Parampara's beginning is the sloka which we are seeing now. Is how did the Acharya Parampara began? This is the actual question. But that is not asked directly in that way. Narada Muni is asking, he's seeing only Brahma. And Brahma is the main creator and he's doing most of the activities, very powerful personality. And like if we look around us, we don't see Krishna. We see people doing activities. When a child is born, his hero is father. Oh, my father is doing like this. My father does like that. My father rides the bike, so I'll also ride the bike. So he'll try to imitate the father because he considers the, and not just imitate, but it's an inspiration. And he considers as a master, the father. Because father is a big man, he's able to do many, many things with a small child is not able to do. But the father is not the main person. Like he also has problems, he also has to serve. But in this world, we are not able to see the actions of Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. That is the difference between spiritual world and material world. In material world, we are, even though Lord is present in every atom, and without his will, even an atom will not move, a blade of grass will not move without the sanction of the Lord. But if you look around you, anywhere, you cannot see. That is why many atheists come, they ask the question, have you seen God? God is not there. These things, of course, in gross vision, we are not able to see the Lord. So, Narada Muni sees his father as a very powerful personality, and he is the one who's a creator. Like all the demigods are reporting to Brahma, and Manus, who are in charge for human beings, Manushyas and everybody, they are also, Manus are even powerful than all the Devas and Indra. But they are also reporting to him. They are all born out of him. Prajapatis, who are in charge for creation of species, they are also reporting to Brahma. In this way, everybody. So Narada is a very sweet child. He came out of the mind of Brahma. You want to see the mind is purity of Brahma. Because Brahma was very worried, but when he was thinking in conscious of Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind was thinking of Supreme Lord Krishna. That is how Narada Muni appeared. So the children are born out of bhakti, you can see. If the father is Krishna consciousness, even from the mind, such a wonderful child as Narada can come. So that is how Narada Muni was born. You can see how when he was in anger, then the four Kumaras refused to act according to his instruction, creating progeny. Then Brahma becomes very angry. Then Shiva appears. So in this way, the consciousness of the father is the outcome of the child. So that is why Guru Maharaj is telling that all the grahasthas have to do Garbhadana samskara. So when we do the samskaras, our consciousness is very much absorbed in the Supreme Lord and in a very sattvic and sweet mood. And then when the progeny begins, then it is like very Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda, very beautiful children, very excellent children who can save the world can come. Materially, their character may be different. But we should not judge based on that. But are they favorable to Krishna consciousness? Do they benefit everybody by spreading Krishna consciousness? Yes. That child will surely come. But each one will be variety. So it's not like a factory, devotee factory. Every devotee will wear the same uniform. Everybody will behave the same way. No. Krishna is called Akila Rasamrita Murti. So Krishna enjoys varieties. So in this way, every devotee will be different in their behavior and character. And this variety has to be accepted. So we cannot expect a stereotype production of devotees. Because Krishna will never taste, even Radharani when she cooks an item and she doesn't repeat it until today. Certain items which Krishna likes, she may repeat, like Manohar Laddu, and they say many pastimes. But even that will have a little different taste from the previous taste, because she doesn't want anything to be repeated for Krishna. But every time a new enjoyment she wants to provide. That is why she is Andaranga Shakti, Haladini Shakti, giving special, special Ananda, which has never been given by anybody to Krishna. And when that Haladini Shakti or Andaranga Shakti is bestowed upon a Jiva, spirit soul, then we can also perform devotional service to our capacity, which can bring pleasure to the Acharya Parampara and Krishna. Okay, coming to this verse, purport, Prabhupada has excellently told here what Narada Muni is seeing, like what we are seeing in the world. He is seeing Brahma as a creator, And we appreciate, we give Nobel Prize to somebody. We appreciate he's a great president. He was a scientist, and everybody's been, oh, somebody is a great person because he got freedom to India. In this way, we see people acting. And we don't see the cause behind. But an intelligent person will see the cause behind. Prabhupada is giving an example, even for the spirit, soul, and Paramatma, who's in the heart. Like if somebody, if there is a car race and the racer is going in a very high speed, then the child will appreciate it. That car is wonderful. That car should get first prize. But the father will say that, no, baby, it is not that car. It is the driver who's going to get the prize. He's going to get the award. Because the driver is the root cause behind both the maintenance of the car and driving the car. So see beyond the obvious. So we have to see beyond the obvious. So here you can see Brahma is instructing, just starting to instruct Narada, see beyond the obvious, my child. How loving, wonderful relationship between Brahma and Narada. Both he is the son as well as is the disciple. So because he asked question, so when somebody asks question, then the gems and jewels of Krishna consciousness will come out. So Narada asks question, whatever you have spoken about me, then Brahma is answering, yes, whatever you told is not false. The car is going very fast, very wonderful, but because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, whose ultimate truth beyond me. So this is what I'm telling, beyond the obvious. So we are conditioned. So our understanding and knowledge is limited. And Supreme Personality of Godhead is unlimited. So by our sense perception, we won't be able to know him. Then how to know him? I have only senses. I have only body right now. So you have to approach a personality who is seeing beyond the obvious, like Brahma. Now Brahma is explaining, he's introducing a new personality who's beyond the obvious. So here Krishna's definition is given by Brahma, personality of Godhead, whose ultimate truth beyond me. So Brahma is the obvious topmost personality for Narada. But so that authority, because he's a genuine authority, guru also, sometimes father will pose as if he is only God and he is only decision maker in your life. And sometimes you will see that they are making wrong decisions, they are making mistakes, they are illusioned, they have cheating propensity. Not just father, I'm not talking about generally. I'm talking about generally people whom we consider as a role model or a person. But we see that they have imperfections in them. That is because they are conditioned. But luckily, Narada Muni's father is also spiritual master. So that spiritual master, we are praying Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. He can open up our eyes and he can make us see beyond the obvious. Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. So Ajnana Timirandasya means I am blinded by my ignorance, my conditioning. Jnananjana Shalakaya, Jnana Anjana. Jnana means the knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, the ultimate truth. Jnana Anjana. So the eyeliner, Guru is applying eyeliner to us so that we can see beyond the obvious. Jnana Anjana Shalakaya, Chakshurvan Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. This is Guru Prana Mantra. So who can make us see beyond the obvious is spiritual master. But how we are, one is surety, unless otherwise, until you see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is existing beyond all the creation, if they are not seeing, what happens? One is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. So people are behind powerful people, famous people. So Krishna has 6 opulence, but individually, somebody is becoming a fan of a Miss World or somebody because it was very beautiful. Okay. And the beauty, wealth, whatever they see, people surrender. But like the racers, if a racer comes first, then the award, whatever they say, trophy, goes to the first person, the driver. Right? The car may be appreciated, but the driver gets the same way. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is supposed to get all the credit even though he doesn't come in front of us and claim. Even though he doesn't claim, we can see only the car outside. We can't even see the driver. Most of the racing cars, if you see, the driver's seat is so low that I'm doubtful how they are seeing the road sometimes, right? It is like that, but still there is a driver, baby. You see, you don't see, but he's there. Same way, we have to become conscious of the person. Then it can be called as real knowledge. So here Prabhupada is telling about those people who are illusioned by observing the powerful activities. So the frog in the well logic illustrates that the frog resides in the atmosphere. And there was a frog. Prabhupada told this beautifully in another many purports. Prabhupada has told the story of frog in the well. So the frog, there was a frog. There was a well and in which there was a frog. And one time, another big, very nice, healthy, big frog fell in this well. Jumping. And this frog has been brought, the first frog, the well frog, has been born and brought up in the well. So it knows that the depth of the well, it knows the height and width of the well, how much water will be there. In summer, water will go, because it grew up there. It's very well aware of the locality of the well. So it's very, for it, it's the world is that. It knows. And sometimes it has jumped out of the well and it has seen the little form around it. So he knows to an extent whatever is there around that. So this frog has come from some other place. Who is this new acquaintance who has come here? So he went and become acquainted. Hello, how are you? Where have you come from? So he said that I came from ocean. The big frog said, no, you're quite big. I think you eat a lot. You get a lot of food in that well. So the other frog said, the new frog said, no, it's not a well. It is ocean. Then the frog said, what is an ocean? I know every place. You're cheating me. Where is the ocean and all? I know there is one well here and there are two small tanks in which they fill the water in the farm to feed the animals. I know there is 2-3 water points around this area. No, you're telling lie. No, he said, no, I come from ocean. It's very far away. It's far away? Not very far away, maybe. I come from there. Okay. So that's water. Yes, it's water. So you get a lot of food. It's very curious because this frog is really well built and nice. So it's very curious to know. Maybe I can go there and eat some more also. So that I can also become fat. Maybe getting a lot of things to eat and a very nourishing environment. Then he said, no, yeah, it's big ocean. Yes, water, big water. So how big? The new frog said, very big. So again, this old frog, it asked, not the old frog, the well frog, it asked, how big? 2 times of this itself is a big well, you know, double the size. Then the other frog said, no, not double, more than that, 10 times. So he's trying to measure the ocean by the well, the unit of well. No, it is even bigger. Okay, 100 times more than this size. That frog said, no, very big, very big water ocean. Then this frog said, 1,000 times. No, even bigger than 1,000. Then he said, oh, you're a cheater. Why should we all listen? So he told the other frogs, don't listen to him. He's a cheater. He has just eaten something somewhere and he has become fat and he has come. No, don't listen to him. So in this way, all the frogs lost the opportunity of going and exploring new ventures. Same way, the material world is the well. And in the material world, all the conditioned souls are like frogs. And there are frogs sitting, I know, in and out of this place. Okay, this is another story. Another purport Prabhupada has told what I told you. Because you read this, so I told that version. Prabhupada has maybe many books, around 7 to 8 times he is, not 7 to 8 times, maybe 10 to 15 times he is mentioning this past story as a comparison. And I'll tell you two more comparison Prabhupada is giving for this kind of arguments people make, and we have to make them understand there is a spiritual world. And they say there is a utopian world, there is nothing like that, and we are happy here. We know how to adjust this, we know how to, the accommodation, I know how to arrange my food, I know how to arrange my dress, I know where is the hospital, I know where is the school, I know the left and right of my area, the area dogs. Prabhupada called them area dogs, that the dog knows the entire street because full day he is busy without any work. That is the job of the dog. What is the job of the dog? Being busy without any work. So the Lord is the provider and protector for all living entities. So it will be arranged. We need not too much be expert. Nothing wrong in being expert, but simultaneously it should also be expert in spiritual matters. Should become expert in the philosophy of the God. Krishna conscious philosophy. We should become very smart so that we know we are complete. Otherwise, we are incomplete. Not incomplete, we are non-existent because we are going to die and we are going to leave this world. And what is the use of being expert in that world? So one more example also, when you're traveling in a train, if you're traveling in a train, you become expert in how many bogies are there, how many berths are there, how many toilets are there, how many windows are there, how many passengers, you have male passengers, how many female passengers. And you take all the statistics and like census, you are expert about the train. Anyway, you have to get down. Is there any meaning in doing that? Same way, we have to get down from that, we get off from this place of the world. We see our great grandfathers are missing from the face of the earth. We see our parents and grandparents, and everybody is leaving. Our friends are leaving. And there is one accident, and there's a boy just gone in the accident. They're missing from the face of the earth. So we should become very clear. I'll also miss from the face of the earth one day. And if I become too expert and my entire time and energy I spend only in this, it is not that you should not know anything, but basically we know for our own existence, we keep survival. We naturally tend to survive and we get to know things. And people are doing constant research, we can find out from them. What is the big deal? Go to YouTube and you'll get the answer. Now people are not even asking their parents. They just go to YouTube and they just find out and they just go ahead with the life. Then what is the life meant for? It's not meant for only knowing things which you're going to leave and go, but knowing things which are permanently existing beyond the obvious. So obvious, we become expert very easily, but how to become expert and beyond the obvious? So that is also knowing the train very well. And you spend all your time in that. That is not. So what is my destination? After I get down from the train, where do I go? What arrangements are made? What is my job there? How am I going to finish the job there? So most of the thinking should be in my destination. Maybe we can give little attention for association. When the neighbor will speak, okay, who is sitting next to us? Oh, very hot it is. Can we switch off the fan? Switch on the fan. Oh, okay, the toilet, is it working or not? Basics. Of course, basics we will be in adjusting. Not expertise in that and spend your entire life. Sometime I used to tell that when there is, I'm doing PhD, doctorate. So what are you doing PhD? So I'm botanical. So I studied botany. I did MSc botany. Now I'm doing PhD, MPhil, this thing. So what is that you're researching? And they'll say that I take only one plant variety and that itself is a family. One plant is a family, hibiscus family, basil family. So that only one family itself I cannot research. In that one family, I'll take one plant and I am going to research on it. Krishna has given 84 lakh species of life in this smallest universe. Ours is the smallest of all universes. And this 84 lakh species of life is there. Janaja Navalakshani Stavara Lakshavimsati. Lakshavimsati means 12 lakhs. 12 lakhs. Plants are there. And in that each only one plant you are going to do and spend your entire life in writing articles and articles and articles about it. Of course, for money payment, we do something. That is different working. But we cannot dedicate our entire life for this. So the so-called scientist, Prabhupada is here telling about this bumping belly and the bumping belly. this bumping its belly as far as possible. Is that well this big, bigger than this, and the frog bump, and then the abdomen of the frog burst and the poor frog dies. So same way we become puffed up. He is a scientist. He has made experience. He has done a lot of what is that experiment in botanical this thing in the line of something. One particular plant family is expert, and there is award, and there is Nobel Prize, and this and that, and the frog bursts. The poor frog dies without any experience of the actual ocean. It's pathetic ignorance, but the ignorance is appreciated in the ignorant world. Similarly, the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable. The question is, you can be a scientist, but you should not challenge the potency of the Lord. That is foolish. That is foolish frog-like brains and their scientific achievement, but the end, they simply die unsuccessfully like the frog. So Prabhupada asked certain questions of the puffed up people who defy the existence of the Supreme Lord and become scientists. The thing is, there is nothing wrong if it's a profession, you do research on a particular plant and you get award, there is nothing wrong. But did you also come to know about Supreme Lord, or you defy because you're a scientist, you become puffed up and you defy the existence of the Lord? So one time, Einstein was there. So Einstein is one atheist scientist. All others thought that religiosity is opposite, what do you say, science and religion or spirituality are inversely proportional. This is what they think. And because by that they become proud. But Prabhupada is calling the Krishna consciousness or spirituality as a science. Prabhupada is the greatest scientist of this world. And he teaches the science in completeness. He teaches us in fullness the science of creation. Because now you're going to see Brahma is going to answer. He's going to answer the entire creation. From very beginning, how every atom came, how every planet came, who are all the personalities living in each of the planets. What is the distance between the planets? Every science, astronomy, astrology, everything is coming. Science, maths, physics, everything is coming. The Brahma is the creator. By most simplified manner, it has been provided to us. And it's science. But the foolish scientists think that if I am a scientist, if I am an educated person, I should defy the existence of God. Then it makes me a great scientist. I am proud. I can manipulate everything. This is very dangerous attitude. So the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable potency of the Lord. So this Einstein, one time he had his other scientists coming. They were very puffed up and proud, and they were talking various scientific complex formulas, which generally common man cannot understand. And it's of no use to us. We studied so many sin theta, cos theta, and all that. And till 10th standard or 12th standard, and 12th standard, and after that he will go and become some bank, he'll become a cashier, and in the bank job he won't resign the bank job, or they'll take some government job. This cashier will die as a cashier, and where is sin theta, cos theta came in their life? There's no use of that education at all. We all studied, we know what, only for getting marks in the exam. Nobody studied real for knowledge, because we were not convinced. No, none of the students are convinced about the so-called proudness and puffed upness coming from the education. We know what we are. We think doctor knows, doctor saves lives. And doctor only knows that he is shivering. Doctor himself doesn't know whether the patient will die. The operation will be successful and the patient will die. Why the operation is successful? Because the doctor very, very carefully collects the fees. So this is what is going on. The operation is successful, patient died. This is the scenario going on. That is all because of only one reason. If this is set right, everything is perfect. They're defying the existence of God because of the proudness. And they know internally, everybody knows that I'm actually not capable enough. What people glorify me, I'm not qualified for that. Every scientist knows this. But they're not genuine to the people. And insofar there are people who are ready to get cheated, there will always be cheaters. So Prabhupada is making us smart. So you want to find smart people, they are followers of Srila Prabhupada, are the smart people. They cannot be not easily cheated. They can never be cheated. If they are chanting 16 rounds, they have accepted a spiritual master and practicing Krishna consciousness, they can never be cheated. So scientist, this Einstein, he told that, okay, they all were assembled, and then Einstein said that he had a very wonderful macroscope or telescope, and they were all looking at various stars and the planets and everything, their movements, everything were calculating. Then he was the topmost of all the scientists right there, and he had a beautiful lab, and they were all appreciating. Then he showed and said that after that they had a meeting in which Einstein said that I'm really bewildered looking at the universe. I'm looking at the sky and I'm really bewildered. I am very sure there's God. Because it is not impossible for a normal common person to create anything like that or make anything. Seasons are coming time to time. The rivers are flowing 365 into, we are saying no, we have 24/7 into 365. IT companies work like that. 365 days, no holidays. No. Sometimes 24/7, they say. But 24/7 by 365 companies are also there. The server is running. People are worried, but people are wondering. But the data center is 24/7 by 365. One server will not come down. We have an additional server. We have clusters. We have this, that, and load balancing. These complexities is already going on here, baby. Already going on, baby. These systems are there. In the daylight, you have sun. In the night, you have a night lamp, which is moon. And then the rivers are flowing continuously 365 days, 24/7. What is it? This is already things are existing. Research means already something is existing. You researching. So Einstein said that I believe in God and I'm very sure he's very powerful and wonderful because the system of them, every day I'm seeing finding out more and more about the universe. I'm more and more wondering about that person. How wonderful he must be. Then all the scientists, they felt, you're Einstein, you're a scientist. How can you talk like this? God and other things, all sentiments. We are scientists. We are not supposed to believe in God. How can you say that? So scientists, Einstein said, yes, I logically conclude that there is God. So some of the senior scientists, they became very angry. You're not qualified to be a scientist. How can you accept the existence of God? And they got up and they went from the meeting. They walked away. So gradually, the junior scientists also saw that the seniors, many of them are walking away. They felt, how it is possible? Einstein is really considered to be a role model of scientists. And he is talking about God. That means, why other scientists are going? Then we should also go. And then they leave. Prabhupada calls this a rat race. When a rat runs, other rats all run. And they don't know why they are running. And if you ask the last rat, why are you running? It will say that the previous rat ran, so I am running. And if you ask the previous rat, it will say that the previous rat ran, so I am running. And if you ask the first rat will say that simply for time pass I was running. Or it may not have a reason, it may have its own personal reason. It may run for that. So people, they could just go where everybody goes. They don't wait and find out. Sometime they ask Prabhupada, there's no crowd in our ISKCON. There are very little people are coming, but there are so many people going to that bogus guru and this and that, and so many places, crowds are there. Movie theater is filled. But they are not coming. Then Prabhupada said, and there are many yogis and Swamijis who are coming and cheating. There's big crowd. He is able to get, even in spirituality, we are not able. Prabhupada said that, yes, ours is not original gold shop. Theirs is imitation. So common man, we can afford only imitating jewelry, imitation jewelry. Ours is diamond and gold and valuable gems and jewels. So only qualified will enter here. Qualified means not by any other material ability, but by simplicity. So they just, Lord's mercy is that they just enter. So not for everybody, because everybody wants to just follow another person. Even when we were in school, we were taught to do the same. We get the seniors or college. I want to do record. All of us know how we wrote the record book. How did we write the record book? We'll approach the senior and we'll take the senior's book and we'll copy. And you ask the senior, how did you write? You were very intelligent. No, I got from my senior. And like that, 4 generations before you go, then the professor is his uncle or auntie. or the professor himself would have given to the previous junior, and in this way, time going on. So but that all the scientists were walked away from Einstein. So Einstein was thinking, logical conclusion cannot be accepted. That means it is not science anymore. Science is running on assumptions. Maybe like that. Do you remember? We'll write like maybe. Let us assume A equal to 1 and B equal to 45. First itself, starting itself assumption. It's not axiomatic truth. How can some truth starts with assumption? So impossible. So then Einstein thought, and then he decided. There is something called experiential learning. Sometimes people, when you say, they cannot understand. Prabhupada said there is a lot of level of intelligent people. How can you test somebody's intelligence? Just by hearing from others about their experience, he immediately understands and acts properly. Then that is top level intelligence. Second level intelligence is he undergoes the experience, he burns his finger. And then he doesn't do it again, or based on that experience, previous experiences in his life, he churns up and then comes out with the decisions. That is second level. This is told by Prabhupada. And the third level of intelligence is you again and again and again undergo the experience, and then you decide not to do it. That is the third level. And the fourth level is others are also telling it will work like that, which they have already put the effort in undergoing the experience, and you yourself underwent the experience, and again you are undergoing this. Still you're doing that mistake. That is the most ignorant fool. So that is the intelligence, most lowest level of intelligence. So the experiential learning is, you cannot learn by hearing others. The second level of, so Einstein tried to tell them, and they're not able to understand. Even if there is a logical point behind it, still they cannot, because of their ego, they cannot understand. Then he went to the second level of, so he called for another meeting after 2-3 months. He called, okay, I have another meeting in my lab. I have something special. You all, I want to invite you. So they all come. Of course, there is fight, and then they come. There's no issue. So because there is a new invention, they all came. So he took them to the lab. And new invention was, there was sun and there were planetary systems, and each of the planet was moving in the same speed. There was, of course, unit difference. And in this way, he had created a complete model of a universe. And they all were going very nicely functioning, floating in the air. So it was an amazing model. And then they were all amazed. Whatever we wrote in the notebook, we all were calculating. That has been put in as a small model, prototype. So how wonderful. Then they asked Einstein, wow, it's amazing. Did you do that? How? By the assistance of your people? Or what is the technology you have used in this? Tell us. Then Einstein said, I didn't do. Oh, maybe your assistant did. You assisted them. You told them to assist, and you did it. No. Nobody did it. Then how it came? Then Einstein said there was a Big Bang. After the Big Bang, this came. Then they all refused. How it is possible there can be a Big Bang and your lab model has come? Then Einstein said that even for a small model, you want an intelligent brain behind it to manifest it. The original, how can you say that the original will never have an intelligent brain behind it? There is an intelligent behind, because I see a system. It's not hither and thither random activities. It's not random. It's well-organized system. There is summer season, then rainy season, then it's all a routine. And the morning sun is rising, evening sun is setting. It's a routine, properly predictable model. So in this way, even a scientist have to, they blabber something and consider themselves, and they don't have even logically not meaningful. So Prabhupada, that is why many people ask, like, why scolding? It's not scolding, it's just telling the truth. Sometimes truth will look like scolding. Why? Because the untrue is sweet poison. So people like sweets. They want to remain in ignorance. So sometimes they say ignorance is bliss. There is a proverb called ignorance is bliss. Means better not to know. If I know, then I need to give myself to it. I need to think more. I need to act more. I'll just somehow live and die here. I will somehow live and die. This kind of dead people, they're all dead. They're not active. They're not enthusiastic. So, but living force means enthusiasm, life. So, of course, we would have done thousands of mistakes. Doing mistakes is never wrong because every mistake is a experience. Because now Krishna comes and says, Dukkale Mashashvatam. Or when Prabhupada is giving frog in the well. Yes, I was a frog in the well. We accept it. So that's a great teacher, the experience. Sometimes a materially powerful man is accepted as God or an incarnation without any knowledge of actual God. And then later we understand, okay, he's not worthy, he's not worthy for my service, he's not worthy, because we see them as great people, we see them as role model, and they also accept that supremacy shamelessly, and they enjoy it without exposing their true self. But if you see acharyas who are able to provide the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, they sing Shakti Buddhihina Miyati Dina Koro Ye Atma Sata Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Ida Se Trinapekati Hina. So they put themselves very humbly. They submit themselves humbly in a truthful way. In a truthful way. Shakti Buddhihi Namit, my dear Guru Maharaj. You give me, like, see Narada Muni. He's the spiritual master of the universe. But he's submitting to his spiritual master. He's submitting to his father. Father, I see you. Then who's that behind? You're doing some yajna. Or whom are you doing this yajnas for? Then Brahma is genuine. He doesn't accept the supremacy glorification done. But rather, he says that, no, look beyond the obvious, and is genuine to show the other person above him. Like when people approach a devotee or a disciple, of course we show Guru Maharaj. This is genuinity. Rather than accepting, we know that we are a useless crap, and whatever we are in devotional service comes from a spiritual master. And if the bewildered person may glorify us, we understand, I was a useless junk in the street, and today if this soul is glorifying me, it is the 100% mercy of my Guru Maharaj, not out of sentiment, but in reality, in truth. Oh, whatever, I am very humble, whatever I get, all the glorification I give to Guru Maharaj, and I take like Mahaprasadam only. No, sorry, you don't have glory. Accept that you don't have glory. Acharyas are accepting they don't have glory. Brahma is accepting he doesn't have glory. Now he's going to describe how he was so bewildered. He was born in the lotus, and he was looking here and there, and he was total ignorance. And then Guru came. Guru and father of Brahma is also same. Very lucky. Some of them are lucky to have like that. And no mother, only father. Narada also only father, no mother. So they are all called, what is that called? It starts with the A. What is that? They came from, I mean, without mother they were born. There's a word, Sanskrit word, nice word. No. Like Swayambhu. It's called not Swayambhu. Boo, it Abu. I forgot that anyway. When get to know, I'll tell you. So in this way, they all are born, and they're not taking the credit to themselves. They understand everything comes from my spiritual master only. Whatever I am today, I was in the ocean of misery. I was in the ocean of material existence, and genuinely, originally accept spiritual master as all in all. That is essential. That genuinity will please the Supreme Lord, and then we'll start having realization, and we'll progress in spiritual life swiftly. Swift progress in spiritual life is possible. So as we get information from the most authentic book of knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Brahmaji's one day and night is calculated by some hundreds and thousands of years. This long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the well, but persons who have realized the truth mentioned, Bhagavad Gita accepts the existence of great personality. See, for us, if we consider, we are very, very, very tiny compared to Brahma. Very tiny. But Brahma's time itself is a flick of a moment. This universe is existing not even for a flick of a moment for the Supreme Lord. But for us, it is like yuga, yuga, itam, yuga, yuga. It's like so many years, 4,32,000 years is Kali Yuga. Into 10 is one Chatur Yuga. Into 10 is one, into 1,000 is one day of Brahma. Another 1,000 is night of Brahma. Into 365 is 1 year of Brahma. Into 100 is this life of Brahma. It's like big number for us, very big number. Like a microorganism which lives for 1 hour or something. Our lifetime is very, very big for that microorganism. Same way, we are microorganism in front of Brahma. But that itself, that life itself is very, very small for Brahma, for the Supreme Lord. So in this way, the long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the well. Like people are living in other planets. They say, who is telling all these things? There are 14 planets. Like this, they laugh. Because that is the frog in the well. So Narada is one of the liberated souls, and after he was known as Narada otherwise, before his liberation. So we have to tell to those people who are laughing the story. Of 2, 3, Prabhupada is giving all astras. Prabhupada's every purport, every analogy, every example is an astra for us which we can collect. And like Arjuna, when we get opportune moment, we should appropriately pick up that astra and use prayog. We have to use it the appropriate time, appropriate astra. This is how Prabhupada's books have to be read. So we collect, when we read, we collect astras. So whenever somebody is telling, oh, you are telling so many planets, there is nothing. No, is there anybody living in moon planet? Nobody, they laugh. The scientist is telling, nobody, the man came from monkey. We say, no, man come from man. Monkey comes from monkey, snake comes from snake, mango comes from mango. We see that. So logical points which Prabhupada is giving all this or be there to be used for preaching purpose, but appropriately in appropriate time, just because I know I won't vomit everywhere and anywhere. Because we should value these things. When we value these as gems and jewels, then we will set it nicely in a jewelry. If we see them as gold, silver, and diamond, and various gems, which Prabhupada is giving, then when in a conversation, we should be able to fit them nicely as jewelry, and we should be able to present it to people, because Krishna is all attractive. Krishna is very sweet. Krishna consciousness knows Ananda Kanda, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Only happiness and happiness and happiness is there. In Krishna consciousness, if you are feeling miserable by any reason, that means there is something wrong in your practice. Seriously wrong in the practice. One should always be in bliss. Spiritual bliss. So this is the proof of Krishna consciousness practices. So this, we have to use it for the preaching purpose whenever we require. We take it and use. So Prabhupada is giving many, many examples. I think time up, no? I keep on speaking. Many, already you took slokas? Sorry, Nikhil. I don't want to prolong. 1 hour, 33 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, so you people have to have, I want to tell 1 or 2 examples, but maybe in the WhatsApp group, I'll put you the audio message. You can listen. If you require, otherwise we can terminate here. Okay. Grandraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Happy breakfast prasad ki jai.
Yeah.
So we'll resume our class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Vaishnav,
Hare Krishna, sir. I have
Hare
a question.
Krishna.
Yeah, sir, just one question. Sir, like it was stated somewhere in the purport that Naradji came out of Brahmaji's mind, right?
Yeah.
And then it said like he was known as, otherwise before his liberation, he was simply a son of maid servant. So who was that maid servant we are referring here?
Very good, wonderful question. So we should go through a revision of the first canto, maybe in between. The first canto, it is mentioned that Narada Muni is son of Brahma only in this life. In this life, he is son of Brahma. In the previous life, he is telling about his previous life, he was the son of a maid servant. But the previous life is previous kalpa. So kalpa means 1 day of Brahma. Every day Brahma begets children. Every day. So our Bhagavatam, which we are reading now, is 1 day of Brahma only we are reading Bhagavatam. But then I think that how many days have passed of Brahma and how many Bhagavatams will be there. So Brahma's last life, Narada's last life, he was the son of maid servant. And due to the association of Bhakti Vedantas, he became a devotee, and then he saw the Lord. Then next life, he was given full opportunity. So,
Jai.
Okay, thanks.
This is similar to the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking a question to Krishna. If somebody practice spiritual life and halfway through, if they leave it or die, what will happen? So two answers Krishna is giving. One is an advanced practicer and a basic practicer. If a basic practicer dies, then they get birth in a very rich family where they need not worry about earning money and everyday activities. First, actually see Krishna is automating. So from this, we understand we should give more time for spiritual and keep the life simple and easy so that we can continue in our spiritual life nicely. So Krishna is giving rich life for a basic devotee. But for an advanced person, Krishna will give them full-time engagement in Krishna conscious, favorable, like father, like Brahma. So that Narada Muni became spiritual master of this universe. Right now, the spiritual master of this universe is Narada.
Yeah, any other questions or comments or realization? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much. Vaishnav Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva patitanam pavanebhyo namo namah. Jai Sri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai